Vesuvius. This is pretty cool. On the way up, we have come up and down these switchbacks here, and park down there. The taxi drove us to there and then walk up. As you can tell, there's quite a bit of walking once you get there, and there's quite a bit of driving on fairly narrow roads before you arrive as well. Keep that in mind when you embark on this journey. You may pass a few restaurants or hotels, but not too much is out this way compared to many of the other areas we've traveled through. As we were driving, although the guardrails and other things were in the way sometimes, we had some pretty amazing views. Also keep in mind that, believe it or not, you have to pay for your parking online before you arrive. There were some people that were arriving after us who had not prepaid for their parking, and so they had to turn around and head back. Once you park, there's most likely going to be some vans here offering rides. It was €2 to ride up and back, and if you are average like we are, then I would highly recommend buying these taxi slips and taking the ride up there so you can enjoy the scenery instead of being burned out before you get there. We initially didn't take the ride and started walking, but then quickly realized that uphill it was going to be quite a trek, especially with 2 kiddos. The van drivers were all super nice, and the funny thing is, at the end of the day when we came back, they didn't even check our ticket to make sure it was the same van line. They just told us very politely to hop on the bus, and off we went. The point where they dropped us off was kind of like a staging area. Buses and vans and all kinds of vehicles were letting people off, but no personal vehicles were allowed. They had a restaurant, which we grabbed some lunch at. They had a gift store inside there as well. You can kind of hang around this area until your entire party is there. You can read through some of the historic markers which tell about Mount Vesuvius and the last eruption and some of the other basic information, and get a look at the mountain before you start to climb. One of the plaques later on mentioned these little guys. They're called wall lizards, and they're all over the place. Here's a look at the gate where they check your tickets and then let you proceed from there. Unless you hire someone to be your guide, it's kind of a self-guided tour, so you can look up resources online or just read the informational plaques as you go. They do have carabinieri, which is a form of Italian police patrolling the area. We saw them go up and down the mountain a couple times when we were there.
In various forms and with different intensities. The most evident and evoked manifestation are certainly the eruptions, and the characteristics of the magma.
This is a walk that you're going to want to bring plenty of water on, because as you can see there, it might look like a short distance, but as you saw in the beginning of the video, these switchbacks continually go back and forth. There were some places open along the way. There were about 3 gift shops where you could buy water if you'd like to do that instead. Notice the color of the stones is more red from here up. Not the big ones, but like all that right there is more red. And the color down that way is more gray mostly. So that's kind of something interesting there. There were a decent number of people going up and down the mountain, as you can see, up and down the switchbacks when we were there that day, and I definitely can't sell them short on the informational plaques, because it seems like every other switchback or so there was another plaque telling about the flora, the fauna, the mountain, or something else. So we were maybe 3/4 of the way up at that point, and that orange building and those white dots is where we started walking from. And just in case you're wondering, the last major eruption happened in 1944. We're getting excited because we're getting closer and closer to the top. There's the parking. We'll show you the crater once we get up there. Before you get much of a view of the crater, you're going to hit your first gift shop. The 3 or 4 gift shops, which we did see along the way, sold similar items, but keep in mind that some of the prices vary just slightly. They had a lot of your typical items like magnets and postcards, things of that nature. One of the gift shops had a statue collection. Another one had some figurines made out of ash. There's the place where you stop. Little gift shop, cafe. And here is Mount Vesuvius. Here we are on the top of Mount Vesuvius. There's quite a trek up here, but the views just keep getting better and better. Each place you stop for snacks and souvenirs, or you have the potential to if you want, prices get better, and then also the view is amazing. First one was okay, second one was pretty good. This one is the best yet, so there could be something better ahead, but we're just checking this thing out. It's awesome. Right after the second or third restaurant / souvenir shop, you have some picnic tables. And if they're still there when you visit, you might be able to see these roped off areas with stacks of rocks. People put them out for different reasons. In the Bible, they were talked about for a memorial. Some people today call them cairn, and it can be either a way of remembering what God has done for you, or it can be a way of marking a trail. Some people even say that it's the way to show that you're on the right path when you're out in nature and you can't leave anything behind. We also happened upon this pole with a lot of stickers on it. Just so you know, the views are great at some of these places, but the views, in our opinion, were the very best at the very end restaurant / gift shop. We did stop once or twice along the way for pictures and videos though. In the end, there were some narrow places and there were some steep places, but once you got to the top, that view was amazing. I used the 0.5 zoom, and that way it showed twice as much, but it still couldn't even capture the entire scene here and how beautiful it was. Needless to say though, once we got to the top, we got our pictures, we checked this out, we went to the final restaurant / gift area, and then we decided we were going to take a break for a little bit. We sat there, we bought some lunch from the gift shop here, and then we headed right back down the same way we came up. If you've been with our channel for a while, you know that I include a bonus at the end of every video. Please let us know what you think of the bonus footage for videos in the comments below. There's so many cool things to mention about Mount Vesuvius, but there's one item of note. These little bugs were all over the place when we visited. So if you have bug spray of some kind that you want to bring along, might be a good idea. And if you enjoy checking out different types of rocks or studying rocks, then this would also be a really great place to have some fun. Here's a quick look at some people who decided to walk up the hill as we're enjoying our ride down. You can tell it's got quite an incline, so we were definitely glad once again that we rode the bus. One of the most amazing things about Mount Vesuvius is that you can see it in a variety of places. This is the beach that we went to. You could also see it during our trips to Pompeii and Herculaneum. Those are two cities that you can visit nearby, which were entirely destroyed by Mount Vesuvius, and you can see the destructive power of the volcano, but also you'll be able to see how some of the ash and soot covering the cities have helped to preserve it throughout the years. While we're over here in Europe, let us know which one of the two you would like to see more, Pompeii or Herculaneum. Pompeii had a little more destruction, but it's larger, and Herculaneum was a little better preserved. Thanks again for watching. Today we're on top of Mount Vesuvius. Please check out my books at www.amazon.com/author/David H. Troyer. Check us out on all the other social media websites, Troyer's Travels. Have a great day, and we hope to see you in our travels. We'll see. Up ahead looks like there's some more really cool views. Down below, a lot of cool views as well. Oh, I agree. I feel like I should see the lava. quite a trek up here, but the views just keep getting better and better. It's quite a trek up here, but the views just keep